with their riders were to be flown to Bamako. Well, this morning the riders still had to get up early. There was no chance for them to have a lie-in. Many of them had brought their motorcycles to the edge of the flight pan so that the bikes could be immediately loaded onto the planes. It was a wake-up call, even though there was no competitive stage mileage for all of the 110 bikers still in the rally. We're now less than half of the riders in the rally as the number that left Barcelona. He says today we've got 3 rotations of Antonov 12 and 14s and 2 rotations of Antonov 74s. We're going to transport all of the 110 motorcycles in these planes. The riders will go in the planes that are normally used by the press, the staff of the Dakar, the TV people, etc. So the Dakar organisers quickly loaded the machines onto the Antonovs, whether or not they were ridden or whether or not they were pushed. One of the stipulations, of course, was that the fuel tanks were literally only full of a thimbleful of fuel. The lone quad was loaded on, and Syl de Prey's bike was one of the last on. Then the riders had to wait until lunchtime, some of them just after lunchtime, for the planes to come back and get them, as their motorcycles left without them. Then, after an hour and a half's flight to Bamako, the riders appeared off the plane. Mark Coma being one of them. Fortunately for the riders, the heat in 2005, certainly not as fierce as it was 12 months ago. It was 50 degrees Celsius this time last year at this very airfield. Today, it must be less than half. The riders soon set up camp. Some of them had the tents, and others, well, they just blew up their lilos and decided to take a pitch in the bivouac. The bikes, of course, were loaded off one of the other Antonovs, and very efficiently it was done as well by the event organisers. David Schwartz's bike from South Australia soon being put into a holding pound before David came and collected it with teammate Andy Caldicott. Eric Verhoef's number 26 machine just going through your shot there. He's still going well. But with the Works Gauloise KTM team, Syl de Prey had written a big number 4 on his bike and used one of Fabrizio's stickers. Likewise, Jean Brucy having written his own memorial. So the overall standings obviously not having changed in the last 24 hours. Syl de Prey still leads overall ahead of Mark Coma. Third, Esteve Puyol, Cox in fourth. Caldicott sixth, ahead of Sala de Azevedo. Chris Blaise is a rookie, ahead of Jean Brucy in 10th. But what about the people outside the top 10? Let's have a look at them. Dabrowski, Chacor, Castello, Alan Duclos and Matteo Graziani. Now let's just go back a couple of days to Atta. This is Thierry Magnaldi arriving at the stage finish. He says, well, I was really talking to the car to get it to the finish here. I didn't want it to let me down, but it got here. But now we've still got to find a problem in the gearbox, and if there is a serious problem, we don't have another one. So we'll have to ask some other people if they have one, or at least have some spare parts so that we can repair this one. So all hands on deck, they got the gearbox out and they undid all the major bits and they got their hands dirty.
Pour essayer à ce qu'on s'en fasse prêter une ou qu'ils nous prêtent des pièces pour pouvoir remonter notre boîte à vitesse.
So now we're going to have to ask around and see if anybody's got those spare parts, he says. Well, Jean-Louis Schlesser had already retired at Attar, and so was, well, open to offers in true business style. He says to leave someone stranded is not our style. They, being Magnaldi, made a big effort to get here and not with that much money, so we're going to help out. The mechanics then picked up a spare gearbox from Schlesser, hauled it from one side of the bivouac to the other, and prized it open. Brand fire new gearbox. So they, well, did a bit of modification with a lump hammer and an angle grinder, and soon got it fixed. Magnaldi's saying, now I can sleep well tonight. I can relax and get back onto the stage tomorrow, which is exactly what he did. I have to thank Jean-Louis Schlesser for helping me, because it is down to him that I am still in the rally. He's still in the top 10. Well done to all concerned.
Ooh, ah, ooh.